Hello everyone, my name is Jagpal. Today in this video, I will be taking you through the process of finding the cause of increase in transaction log files in Microsoft SQL Server. The process is very simple, but I have observed because of the lack of awareness around this process, many of DBAs are still not aware of it, why the transaction log has unexpectedly grown. And the situation can become so worse that transaction logs sometimes consume the complete free space on disk, and then your database goes complete standstill. So to take care of this problem, it is very important that we should timely be able to identify the cause of increase in transaction log so that problem can be prevented and your database can continue to work. And for this, I have one of the document which is available from Microsoft to understand the cause for increase in size of transaction log. Let me quickly open Microsoft document because Microsoft has also explained this really well. In Google search, if you type in transaction log function MS Docs, you will find first document, the transaction log SQL Server. And when you click on this link, it will open up transaction log SQL Server website. And when you scroll down, you will be able to, because though this information is also very useful, but because we are going to only discuss about the transaction log, the cause of the increase in size for transaction log. So we will go to that section directly. You can see here this section explains like factor that can delay log truncation. Now, why does it mention about log truncation? Because log truncation is a natural phenomena in transaction log file. As soon as the transaction gets committed, the transaction log always gets ready to truncate the records in the transaction log file. This is done to ensure that the size of the transaction log remains within permissible size limit. But when the truncation of log does not happen, the size of the transaction log increases unexpectedly. So that's the reason if you're able to control and ensure the truncation of the log, then you're also directly controlling the size of transaction log. Let's try to understand how you can find out the reason behind the delay in log truncation. To find the reason for log truncation, there is a catalog view available. It is very commonly used by database administrators. And the transaction log, the name of this catalog view is sys.databases. If you select star from sys.databases, one of the column you will find out is log underscore reuse weight description as shown by Microsoft. And this column states the reason for delay in the truncation of log because sys.database catalog shows each row for each database. So next to each databases, you will be able to find out the value. Okay, the value can be any one of them as shown in this table by Microsoft. So we will try to understand what all these values represent. In case you see them in this column, log reuse way description next to the databases in catalog sys.databases. So to understand this, I will be taking you through them one by one. So the first log reuse way description value is nothing. Nothing means that there is no delay in the log truncation and log is within permissible size. So this is the ideal situation. You always expect this behavior, this value from your databases in sys.databases catalog view. Checkpoint, checkpoint, if you get a value checkpoint in log reuse way description value, this shows that checkpoint has not taken place due to which the log is not truncated. So checkpoint in Microsoft SQL Server automatically takes place. And if checkpoint, so after the checkpoint, log gets truncated from the log file. But if the checkpoint does not take place automatically, the log doesn't get truncated and your log cell gets increased. So you can find out the reason why the checkpoint does not happen. In a similar way, if the log reuse way description value in the column is log backup for any of the database, this means log is not truncated because the log backup has not happened. Now, this scenario is applicable in recovery model of full or bulk log because in case of full and bulk log recovery model, the log truncation only happens when you have successfully taken the backup of the logs. So ensure that you are taking a log backups at regular interval to ensure that your log size is within the permissible limits. It can also take a value active backup or restore. Whenever you have any active backup or restore happening, and during that time, the due to that active transaction, the transaction log size continues to increase because it waits for the backup and restore to complete before it can truncate the log. So in case you have a backup and restore happening and you see this value active backup or restore in log reuse way description in sys databases, then you can ensure that you have enough space available or enough free space available in the disk drive, because it is then the increase in log size is expected the way SQL Server behaves. If you have the value as active underscore transaction for any of the database, this means in the database there is an active transaction running. And because of that active transaction and because of that active transaction, the transaction log, because of that transaction is not being truncated, the transaction log is continuing to grow. So you can make sure you identify the active transaction which is causing this problem and kill that transaction so that the log can also get truncated after that transaction is rolled back. This way you can find out the cause. In a similar way, there are other values which log reuse weight description can take, like database underscore mirroring, because as we know in database mirroring, we have like in high performance mode, we have like mirror database, which is like mirror to the primary database. Now, if the mirror database is lagging behind in case of high performance mode, and it is lagging behind the principal database, you will be able to see the database mirroring as one of the values of log reuse way description in sys.databases. So you can ensure and find out why there is a lag between the principal database and the mirror database in database mirroring. If you see replication, because I have experienced all these issues in the real environments, replication value comes in, or you get replication value in this column of log reuse way description when the log reader agent is not running, and because log reader agent is not running, your transactions which are to be replicated are not yet marked for replication. And when your transactions are not marked for replication, those transactions remain active. uh, the logs for the transactions remain active in the transaction log, and the transaction log doesn't get truncated. So you can ensure that if it is showing replication in sys.databases, then a logreader agent runs and it is marking those transactions for replication. In a similar way, you can have any of these values, and based on that, you should be able to uh, take care of them to ensure that your transaction log is within permissible limits. That's all from my side. I hope you find this like useful. And if you've learned something new today through this link, please give this video a thumbs up, or please provide your comments down below about any topic, any new video you like me to cover. Because I, being a database administrator in Microsoft SQL, I also support Azure SQL Server. Certainly be able to prepare a new video, the concept, any new update from Microsoft which you'd like to know. So thank you so much for all your support, and great to prepare such videos again. And thanks once again. Good day. Bye bye.